In this short video, we're going to talk about how to throw a knife. And this one's going to be, like Jack Webb said on Dragnet, just the facts, ma'am. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So, throwing knives. I get a lot of comments about that, and I made 2 videos in the past about throwing knives, how to throw knives, and both of them were longer than I needed them to be, and both of them have a lot of comments about too much rambling, not enough stuff. So we're just going to cut to the chase. No more rambling, no more. We're not reviewing anything. I'm just going to show you my technique for throwing a knife, which works for me. I think it'll hopefully help work for you. And we're going to do that right after this very quick word from one of our sponsors. This video is sponsored by my friends at Click Belt. The Click Belt I'm wearing today is my 2-ply tactical duty belt, and I've been wearing this for a couple of years. As you can see, it still looks very nice and supports my Glock 19 very well. Click belts are available in a wide range of colors and styles, including custom options, all sewn right here in the USA, featuring genuine Austrian Cobra buckles and a full lifetime warranty. So I encourage you to check out our friends at Click Belt. There'll be a link in the description below and probably one right up here. Tell them Brian said hello. Okay, we're back. Hopefully that wasn't too painful, but it really does help keep the lights on here, and it helps keep, for instance, I just had to build this new balance orientation and rotation device. Some people might call it a knife target. So anyway, let's get straight to it now. First thing you're going to need to throw a knife is a knife. I recommend starting out with a dedicated throwing style knife. This one happens to be a Smith & Wesson one. I think this set was like 20-30 bucks. I don't know, not very expensive. You can spend a little bit of money or a lot of money, but what you're looking for basically is it's no frills on it. It's just a piece of steel with a point on one end and a handle on the other. And hopefully it's kind of balanced somewhere in about the middle here. You want it to be reasonably balanced. So if it's a decently designed throwing knife, it should be. And it's not going to have a sharp edge on it. Usually it's just a point. It's just going to give you something that can take a little abuse as you bang and clang, trying to find your groove. So the technique I'm going to show you is a full spin technique, which means that you're going to throw the knife like so. When you release it, it's going to flip 360 degrees and impact the target, hopefully with the point. That's the idea. A couple of variables in that. One of them is going to be your release, depending on how much you flick your wrist or whatever, and how much, the more you flick your wrist, the more it's going to spin. The second variable is going to be the distance from the target. So you got to work those kind of 2 out, and really the only way I know to do that is with trial and error. But what I found is if I release the knife, just kind of let it slide out of my hand about right here, then it's about like so. It's going to already start its arc, and it's going to flip like this and be ready to go. I can't really tell you exactly how to do it on video because you just really, it's a trial and error thing. But what I can tell you is if the knife hits, imagine this is a target. If you're throwing and the knife hits like this, then, and you maintain the same, consistently doing that, the easiest way to fix that is to back up a little bit, because that just means it needs a little more time to rotate. If it's consistent, that means your release is consistent. So just back up a little bit and see if that makes a difference. Once you get that, kind of draw yourself a line on the ground or whatever, and just practice until you get that distance down, and then you can start working on other distances, and maybe you can start working on your release. I can tell you that it's a lot easier to be consistent with your release and just adjust your distance until you find the right distance, and that's going to be the best way to get started. And then after that, you can progress to other techniques and other ways of throwing it. But just to get started, because it's fun. It's kind of like darts for big people, right? So anyway, let me show you what I mean. I put myself a little mark down. I think this is the right distance for these knives. Let's go look. Okay, so this one, first one went in pretty straight. Second one didn't flip over as much. This one was high, but it was kind of straight too. So, I mean, I'm not a machine, so certainly everything wasn't perfect, but hopefully you get the idea. Bottom line, that's really all there is to it. You need a decent target that's going to be reasonably soft. Plywood generally doesn't work good because of the resins in it. Just make it too hard, and stuff wants to bounce off. So I wouldn't recommend plywood. Another simple but effective target style is just a flat 2x6s or 2x8s screwed to a frame, not pressure treated, just regular old pine or softwood. This can still give you a nice soft area that it'll impact into. And by the way, if this looks fun, be sure and check out my video on how to throw a tomahawk. So there you go. Hopefully that was rather concise and not too rambling. Again, all you really need is a set of basic throwing style knives to get started. And the two factors you need to be concerned with are your release and the distance. And once you get your release consistent, you can see if you're hitting like this, you can back up a little bit. If you're spinning too much, then you come forward a little bit. And once you get that down and really get control with it, then you can start exploring some other knife throwing techniques. You know, there's a half spin technique where you hold it by the tip and throw it. There's a no spin technique where basically the knife just kind of goes in like this and flies in. To me, that's really hard. I have not been able to master that one, but maybe you will once you get going. So I hope this has been helpful. As always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a new video every Friday and every Saturday, and sometimes random videos throughout the week. Thanks for subscribing. Be sure and click that little notification bell so you don't miss a single video. There's another one right there, by the way. And be sure and check out the list of sponsors in the video description. Many of them have discount codes specifically for viewers of this channel, and all of them are companies that I know and trust. When you support them, it helps support the channel, and I really appreciate it. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.